The second job of the day is to collect all these pupa and pre-pupa. You can see there's a lot of them. I put them in here. And then what we do is we weigh them so that you know roughly what you've got, because it's important to know how many flies you've got coming in future. So just scoop them all up. So you have to be a bit gentle with them, because they're a bit delicate, and it's best to try and avoid any potential damage, because you know your fingers have got stuff on them, oils and the thing and the like. You just get the little brush, but you've also, you know, they're little, right? So you don't want to squish them. We do have a little brush somewhere, but I can't find it right now, so I use this brush. So you I'll just put these into the corner. Trying to be as gentle as possible. And we know roughly these will take, well, it depends on the stage, but basically around 7 days is when you're looking for them to come out. Because that's not pre-pupa. And then after 7 days they'll emerge into adults. Well, it depends. Okay, so let me just show you this to make it clearer, because I know people want to know the timing. So we've got two diagrams, that diagram and this diagram. This one here, again, it depends on factors, right? Temperature, how well they're fed, humidity, all these different things. But these are the black ones here, you can see. And the pupal stage is about 8 days, and then the adults emerge. So this one's saying 8 days, this one's saying 8 days. But then the pre-pupal stage is 7 to 10, so that's when they start to turn black. So you could have, if you add those together, up to 18 days. Here again, up to 18 days. So depending on the stage. Now let's see if we can. Yeah, you can see here the ones that are moving are what we call pre-pupal. The ones that are not moving are pupal. So there's a difference there in terms of where they're ready to pupae, and some of these are lighter. So you know, this one's a big chunky one compared to its neighbour here. And so there'll probably be a difference there as well in hatching rates. So that's what we need to do. So at the moment we've got 280 grams, which is fantastic. So we'll get a lot of flies out of that. And I haven't finished yet, and this is only one of the bays, so you do that for every bay. And once you're ready, I'll show you what we do next. Now we've weighed them, we've got 0.6 kilos, so 600 grams thereabouts, and there's a fly just come out, see? So some of them, you might not get every single one, or one of them may hatch elsewhere, so you'll get some flies come out. So let's see if I can make it where this needs to go before the fly flies away. So you put them in here, all part of the day's activities. The second part is collecting these pre-pupa, and then what you do is you just put them down somewhere like that. They'll move themselves around, and eventually they will, sorry about my thumb there, they will hatch out and then turn into these flies that we can see here. But there's one important thing I haven't done, which is to do with this, which is I need to change this. So it's important to keep records of what you've done, because otherwise you can't estimate how many flies you've got. You can't then estimate how many eggs you might get and how many maggots you get, and then if you're relying on production, you can't estimate it. So you can see them moving around, they're finding their own space now. They don't want to be too thick, because they still need, you don't want to suffocate them. So I'll come back in a second and record that. So I've come back with the tape, so I'm going to try and do this one-handed. Just going to stick this on here. I did some simple maths as well, sorry, just excuse me a second. There we go, sorry about that. What do we say? So it was 600 grams. That makes it a bit confusing, isn't it? 600 grams on the 28th 2nd 2023. Now that's 600 grams is each maggot will be about 0.2 grams. So in here there could be about 3,000 thereabouts of PrePupae. Of that, let's go for 50-50 our female males, so that's 1,500 potential males. Potential females. That 1,500, if they all lay a clutch of eggs, that's 1,500 clutches of eggs, and each clutch is 0.02 grams of. I can lay each clutch. That's what it weighs roughly. I think it's 0.025 actually. So that means that 1,500 clutches would give you about 30 grams of eggs, black soldier fly eggs. That 30 grams of eggs can turn into, well, each 1 gram can turn into like between 3 to 5 kilograms of maggots. So what's that? 30 times 5. So at the maximum we could get 150 kilos worth of black soldier fly, which is phenomenal amount. Of course that's not going to happen, that's the max, and you're never going to get that. There's a lot of mortality, that's why they lay so many eggs. But yeah, even if you get half of that, 75 kilos of maggot, that's pretty good. I just thought I'd show you this as well. So, flies mating, so what's that house fly? Okay. These two are mating, and eventually that will turn into eggs. So this is the second activity you do of the day, is you collect your frass. Sorry, not your frass, keep calling it frass. Collect your PrePupae, stick it in a bowl, measure it, then you leave it for, well, we said the maximum is about 18 days, right? And then they'll hatch out into flies. You get the eggs. Where's that female? So she's gone. The female was here earlier laying eggs. Let's see if we can see them actually. Yeah, that's them there, right? There we go, that's better. Down there. So yeah. Or is it that one? I can't remember now. There's eggs, there's a couple of clutches here. So she's definitely, oh, there's another one there as well. So, so it might be that one actually, was it? Think of that. So there we go, she's definitely laid her eggs, which is great. So that's me. I've got a couple of meetings now with the staff, just continual training. It's just, you know, things you notice, and you're like, can we do this? Any problems that are coming up across, and we sort of do some problem solving, because that's sort of the thing that I get up to.